The first big piece of news is coming out of WWE. This is coming over from Cultaholic. Matt Riddle has been released by WWE, bro. Following release yesterday, Matt Riddle tweeted out, just wanted to inform everyone that I'm no longer with WWE. Thank you for the memories and opportunities. Also, thank you to all the fans for the support and love you give me every time I go out to the ring. See you all soon. PW Insider confirmed Riddle was released. The release reportedly took place at 5:30 p.m. Eastern yesterday on Friday. And that was just before SmackDown was going to go live, which was insane. So yesterday, the day before, WWE released Ziggler, Elias, Mustafa Ali, Dana Brooke, Shelton Benjamin, among many others on the list. Those were NXT talents as well. This all comes 1 week after WWE did the Endeavor deal, UFC TKO formation, the merger. Over 100 employees were also let go from WWE itself. And the other piece of news that came out when all of the releases started was WWE announcing with USA Network that they have a new partnership and USA will be airing SmackDown on Friday nights starting in October of 2024. It hasn't been confirmed yet whether or not USA Network is going to keep Raw and NXT. Their deal for Raw and NXT is going to stay until September of 2024. Comment in the chat, guys, or in just the comments of the video too, but do you think that USA is going to keep WWE, Raw, and NXT, or do you think that it's going to be, open season for bids? Part of me feels like it's going to be a bunch of bids for it. It's top programming. The big question is whether USA keeps it or not. And we'll get back to Riddle in just a second here. But if USA keeps Raw and NXT, or it goes on the market, does Raw move to another night? This is the big thing that I've been wondering about because you got new TV deals are coming up. Presumably, WWE would sign a Raw and NXT package deal with a network for the next 4 to 5 years. Does it go on a streaming platform like Apple TV Plus or Amazon? Do they do that? Or does it just simply go to a traditional network, stick with USA? Fox picks up Raw. Maybe it goes somewhere else. Disney, ESPN. Do they do that? And then do they move Raw and NXT to another night? Part of me feels like it would be a great move, great opportunity. It'd be weird not to have Monday Night Raw. I just think that you gotta do a lot of different changes there. Tuesday Night Raw doesn't sound right. Thursday night is too close to SmackDown. So if you're going to move away from Raw being on Monday nights, then you got to look at it going to another night, possibly a Tuesday or Wednesday, and you can't sandwich it in with SmackDown on Fridays. Because SmackDown move to Fox from Fox USA Network rights deal is here coming in from Variety itself. I kind of feel like if another company or USA got it, I say move away from Monday nights. It's your one opportunity to do it. Raw and Spike, says Zach Smith in the chat. I think that's not a bad idea. I think that if you had Raw on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, it would do better. Just what I think. Because Raw is always in the fall going to get smoked by NFL. And football is bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's never going to be stopped. Monday Night Football is always going to destroy WWE TV programming. Whether WWE cares about that or not is a different story. Because if they're going to get a 2-3 hour time slot, advertisers are going to pay up for it. They're going to love it because they got 3 hours of advertising booked on a live cable television show. So whether Raw does 1.5, 1.8 mil, 2.1 mil viewers per episode of Raw, WWE is a locked-in multi-billion-dollar TV deal, so they really don't care, in my opinion, whether they flop on Monday nights. I think fans care that it flops on Monday nights. I think fans look at it very closely, but I think it's better business, as like Primetime says in the chat. I think it is better business if they moved it to Tuesday or Wednesday nights. What would be kind of fun, honestly, and very interesting, is Raw moves to Wednesday nights on like NBC or stays on USA Network or moves over to like Spike or something else. But if Raw moves to Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., imagine if it went to 2 hours again. Oh, that'd be so lovely. But what if you got 2-3 hours of Raw on Wednesday nights at 8, and it basically goes head to head with AEW, whether WWE acknowledges that or not? Acknowledge me. But if they don't even acknowledge it, but regardless, you create that competition on Wednesday nights. AEW has to up their game creatively. And I think the AEW audience is going to watch AEW regardless. They might take a bit of a hit, but you get that nice channel surfing back and forth. You get the old Raw as War. You get the Monday Night Wars. Now we can get the Wednesday Night Wars again, like we have with NXT. They could do that and move Raw. I think AEW would end up getting smoked, other than its core viewership, but I think Dynamite would take a big hit. AEW is also going to be in TV negotiations soon, so you never know what's going to happen with streaming platform, HBO Max, that type of deal. 2 hours of Raw would be a lot of fun. I'd rather have that. But yeah, if we got like Wednesday Night Raw, Wednesday Night Wars, that'd be cool. Wednesday Night Wars, that kind of sounds better. But then you could get Raw Wednesdays, 2-3 hours, NXT for an hour on Thursday nights, and then you could still have Friday SmackDown. The thing by doing that too is that if you shuffle the entire program lineup for WWE to the later half of the week, you are getting just a banger week straight through. So if you're a WWE fan, you get Wednesday Raw, Thursday NXT, Friday night SmackDown, Saturday premium live event, and then Sunday UFC, for example. You get so much content. So we'll see what happens for the deal with Fox and WWE. Excuse me, for the Fox deal paid in 2019 was like $1 billion. The USA one is like $1.4 billion. They're also getting 4 televised premium live events that they are going to do throughout the year. So I would love it if we got Saturday night's main event. I would love it if we got Taboo Tuesday, Cyber Sunday. Those would be so much fun. So let's talk about back to kind of the main story here, everybody. Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle is released by WWE. He's out. This just happened before SmackDown. He didn't get released during the big batch of releases, which I find very strange. Why is Riddle your thumbnail, Wolf Mode? Because as I'm speaking right now to you, Matt Riddle is released by WWE as of last night. There's no reports as to why he was released, but we can only speculate that it's got to do with WWE releasing talents like Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, and it's being reported there that those talents were released because they have main roster contracts. They don't have big long-term plans for them, so they're bigger contracted deals that they're not going to get the return on and they don't want to utilize. And Matt Riddle, unfortunately, might be falling into that lineup where WWE doesn't see he's got a big main roster deal contract, and they don't have future plans. It could also be the potential that Riddle has had some issues, and outside of the WWE, he's had some issues with substance abuse. It could be that just WWE is looking at it and they're going, we're doing releases. Do we see, what are we going to do with this guy? And they may be looking at it going like, we have no plans for Riddle for the foreseeable future, like a long, long time. And so you cut your losses, you move on. Maybe he comes back in a couple of years. You never know. He could be like an RVD and he just pops up. He'll pop up in the Rumble in 3 years from now. But what do you guys think? Is Riddle was what, like the release that when the releases happened just the other day, I was kind of surprised at the moment that Riddle wasn't like, I kind of had him pegged. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I looked at how the guy was being utilized. His last real program was with Seth before he went to rehab. And then when he came back, there's nothing going on with him. And I think his momentum completely died. I think even before that, he lost all his momentum when RK Bro was done because Randy went away with injury. And as soon as Randy was gone, it felt like it was kind of stopped for Riddle. Also with the character, just from talent side, like Riddle's very talented in the ring, and I'm sure like if he went on the indies now and just bounced around to promotions, I think he'll be very successful. That's what he was starting to do and then got picked up by NXT. So I could see Riddle just going to Rev Pro and doing a bunch of different stuff, maybe go to New Japan. I don't know if I see him in AEW. I'm sure Tony Khan will just try to gobble up as many ex-WWE guys as he can, just to freshen his roster and make him feel fun, like it's fun. And then, but I could also see him in like Impact. So I don't know. GCW would be crazy. I could see him going around and just kind of doing a tour where he could do a bunch of different promotions, and maybe a good run in Impact would be really good and well suited for him. It's fewer dates, do a bunch of TV tapings, and then he's done. The schedule is not much of a grind. Same with AEW. It's not as much of a grind. MDB says that Tony Khan loves to gobble up ex-WWE guys. Yeah, I kind of see that Tony will probably make a play for some, but we'll have to wait and see. But the thing is, though, is that for the character overall, it's limited. Matt Riddle is not a WWE champion. Like, look at it from the corporate side of WWE for a second. Like, is Riddle talented? Absolutely. Is he fun and entertaining? 100%. And his moveset and what he can do in the ring, he can be explosive, he can be a lot of fun. But from the corporate business WWE side, is he a face of the company guy? No. Is he a mid-card guy? And then a utility guy? Yeah. For WWE. And that's what he was doing in just this last little run. He wasn't doing anything. Like, I think he had like one win on TV other than like a singles win, and then maybe against Ludwig Kaiser where he won. And then that's it. Then he was doing the Drew McIntyre thing and that just stopped. And that even I didn't see Riddle and Drew having a long program. I honestly just felt like that was a catalyst to get Drew heel. And with Riddle stepping out of that, now we're getting something I feel even better for Drew McIntyre, where now he's conflicted. He's dealing with Jey Uso. McIntyre is possibly going to turn heel, but it's going to make sense. It's not just this stark twist and all of a sudden he's a heel. There's a lot of hope there, but the problem with, I think, with WWE, what I think they are doing right now, Kane98 subscribe, yeah. I think that what we get with Riddle is a mid-card level, and I think what WWE is looking for, especially in the new era of TKO, they're looking for giant megastars. They want everyone to be a superstar. They want everyone to be a level of and they're not all going to be, but they want big, over the top. It's stories, it's personalities. We want Roman Reigns, Charlotte, Bianca, Rhea. We want big talents, big names, and fill your roster with all of these big talents, larger than life. And I don't think Drew was going to hit that height ever. He would be relegated to mid-card. And if he was still sticking around, honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if next year's WrestleMania, you'd be like, is he on the card? And he'd be like, he'd be in the Andre Battle Royal. And that's where he would be. His best run was with Randy. It was the best thing he did. It was the most entertaining. And hopefully he ends up doing some fun stuff. Here's something that isn't fun. What happened at LA Knight last night? So SmackDown, we'll go through our SmackDown recap soon, everybody. But unfortunate news was that the reports are that LA Knight was pulled from SmackDown due to COVID. So the reports going out is that right before SmackDown was like gonna start, reports came out that LA Knight, got COVID. Fightful and the Wrestling Observer sites reported on Knight's positive test. This is coming over from Post Wrestling, to his removal from the show, where he was scheduled for a major role in the closing segment. And if you guys watched the closing segment, you got Solo and Jimmy attacking John Cena. You had AJ Styles, but he was ambulanced out earlier. And then John Cena just ate the beat down. There was a dark match thing with Street Profits and Cena. Sean Ross Sapp reports that Knight was scheduled to come to John Cena's aid during the attack by Jimmy and Solo during the contract signing. Instead, the segment saw Sikoa and Uso beat down Cena, and the show ended with no one coming to help him. So, if this is just terrible timing, and I think they will just still get the tag team match at Fastlane. it's a little bump in the road. If LA Knight can just get healthy in the next 14 days, then he'll be back on TV in a week or two, and he'll be fine. Run a vignette, of LA Knight. Run a promo of him, and keep the story going for him. LA Knight, the timing sucks, though, because LA Knight coming out at the end of SmackDown, AJ Styles getting ambulanced off, it was positioned very well. AJ and Cena teaming up, that's cool enough as a tag team match. But you wrote AJ out of it. And then you need someone to come to John Cena's aid. The pop LA Knight would have gotten, because people were chanting for The Rock during SmackDown. And so if LA Knight was going to come out, it would have been massive. And that's what they're trying to do. You can see what they're doing now is that they are totally positioning LA Knight as a giant babyface. And that they could have beaten up the Bloodline and getting into a future match. The question is, where does LA Knight go? So I think that at Fastlane, this will be the tag team match. I think commentary will take the next 2 weeks and they will just position John Cena as looking for a partner. AJ Styles is hospitalized. John Cena needs a partner and he keeps getting screwed over by the Bloodline. It's a neat story. And then I honestly think that what they'll do in maybe 2 weeks' time is they'll just redo the beatdown segment. They'll just have John Cena out there, and then Solo and Jimmy start beating him up again or threatening him. And then LA Knight's music hits, he does the save. And there's your tag team match. So I think this will be the tag team match. People are speculating of The Rock, Randy Orton as the tag team partner. Commentary, I believe, said on SmackDown, who's going to help John Cena, who's going to be the tag team partner now. It's still going to be, in my eyes, it's still LA Knight, assuming he is going to be healthy there, which I think they can get through. It's just a bump in the road. So if LA Knight gets healthy, you get the Bloodline match. I think from there, because we get Fastlane, right? And then we get, do we not just roll right into Saudi Arabia and then Survivor Series? Let's take a look. Because I believe that's kind of the flow of it, right? We're getting on the road to Survivor Series. So we got NXT, yeah. So we go to No Mercy, Fastlane, then an NXT show, Crown Jewel, which could easily just... So Fastlane, if Fastlane is the Bloodline versus Cena and LA Knight, Crown Jewel could be LA Knight versus Jimmy and Solo versus Cena in singles matches. Giant high-profile matches. Or you redo the tag team match again, but this time maybe no disqualifications or something. And you do Crown Jewel. And then you have the Usos go over. The Bloodline go over. Bobcat Lewis, good to see you, brother. Thank you all for coming, by the way. If you guys enjoy content doing the news wrap-ups like this, help me out, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. I'm trying to get to 93,000 subscribers as soon as we possibly can, and I need your help. So if we got Crown Jewel, I think we got Fastlane's a tag match. Crown Jewel, I think, is going to move on to either a rematch for it or they go to singles matches. And then you're into Survivor Series. And once we get past Survivor Series, guys, it's all the way to the Royal Rumble. Then we're staring at WrestleMania. We are not far away, which is great. So because you're looking at Fastlane, Crown Jewel, and Survivor Series, John Cena has a couple more dates, I think he has 2 premium live events booked for WWE, which I suspect would be Crown Jewel and Fastlane. If Cena is only around until Crown Jewel, I can see Roman Reigns coming in, because Roman's not there. I can see Roman Reigns coming in at either Crown Jewel in a match or to set something up, or they are going to, they're setting all this stuff up. John Cena is in here, but I think it's about trying to get LA Knight up to Bloodline story. This is the way they do it. John Cena is going to act as this catalyst, as the spark, to then get LA Knight as the main guy, as the main foe for the Bloodline right now until we get through to WrestleMania season, which is great. So what you do is, in my opinion, you're going to get these tag team matches. Cena, LA Knight are going to go over at some point, and you're getting more of John Cena raising LA Knight's hand like this is the guy. Then you get Survivor Series. Whether it's War Games or not, we're not too sure yet. Nothing's confirmed, obviously. And I don't know if they would do a War Games. But Survivor Series could be LA Knight versus Roman Reigns, which would be pretty sick. And then what you need is LA Knight to geek out like a DQ finish or to just come close. If it looks like LA Knight got close, maybe John Cena gets involved and helps take out the Usos, like the Bloodline, so that LA Knight has a fair shot. You give that hope that LA Knight could win. It'd be very, very interesting. But LA Knight's got COVID. Riddle is released. Hopefully, we see good things happen. Guys, thank you so much, by the way, for coming by. I personally just love doing the news, the live streams like this. So if you guys enjoy it, appreciate it. Love to get the feedback. Drop comments. Drop your feedback if you guys enjoy doing stuff like this, because I like doing it. Plus all the 2K content. Update on wrestling veterans signing new WWE deals. After news broke several weeks ago, the Dudley Boys had re-signed the Legends deal, which leads me to believe that they're going to be back in 2K24. Speaking with PW insiders Mike Johnson, Devon confirmed that they had in fact signed the Legends deals with WWE. The Hall of Famers revealing that they are in fact put pen to paper many months prior to the news being reported. Devon said, "We did sign Legends deals. It was a few months back. So I was very shocked when I saw reports that we had signed a Legends deal, because it made it seem like we had signed it that day and that we had signed it and we didn't. The Dudley Boys will now be new action figures in video games. The Dudley Boys will now be in new action figures in video games. It's more merchandise. That, I'm happy to say, we did sign a Legend deal, and we'll see what happens from there." So, guys, basically confirmed. Dudley Boys are going to be in 2K24. That's awesome. They'll probably be in Supercard, but that confirms to me that they're going to be in 2K24. So that's good news. I like that. I like the Dudley Boys. I like more Legends on my roster. Devon clarified that he doesn't expect there to be any in-ring WWE return for Legendary Duo in the company anytime soon, while also ensuring that he held no ill will with the company after he was released from his role past the start year. While a return to WWE ring may be off the table, now for the Dudley Boys, Bully Ray and Devon did recently unite as Team 3D once again in Impact 1000. Devon has commented on his in-ring future following this appearance. Get the tables. I love it. I love getting Dudley Boys. And I love that I'm going to get them in my video game. Hell yeah. Totally see that. Dudley Boys, totally see it as DLC. Definitely see it as DLC. Why not? That's a headlining DLC. WWE Elimination Chamber, Australia, Perth, Australia, February 24th. They got some time set up. Elimination Chambers to air at 11 a.m. Greenwich Mountain Time. Better set your alarm if you're a late sleeper, UK fans, as WWE will be airing a premium live event at 11 a.m. But what's 11 a.m. GMT to Eastern? Ooh, that's 7 a.m. here. Woo-wee! Oh my goodness. So UK, 11 a.m. Eastern people like me, 7 a.m. on a Saturday. That's okay. Good guy ain't gonna go sun at 7 a.m. You know what, man? I'm up anyways. 7 a.m. on a Saturday. I get to wake up, have coffee and breakfast, and watch wrestling. I'm not gonna complain about it, because you know what? By 7, what is it? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? 8, 9, 10. 10 to 11 a.m. Pay-per-view's over. We're done. We might have to stream that. 7 a.m. You might see me on here, and we'll do a watch-along, because for Elimination Chamber, because that'd be a lot of fun. Oh man. Oh yeah, Vince McMahon loves male models. God damn it. Oh boy. Coffee and wrestling, yeah man, that's the whole goal here. All right, let's talk a little bit about SmackDown, shall we? Well, it was a good show overall. Pretty good show. Pretty good show. SmackDown results. We got the AJ Styles, John Cena. John Cena came out, talked some stuff. AJ Styles came out. AJ Styles, with the beard, He's getting the shoulders and his biceps bit. Like, AJ's like beefing up, man. He's getting into like grizzled veteran AJ Styles transition, which is great. I like this version of AJ. AJ's turned into like this no BS grizzled veteran. He's just like, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna kick ass. But he got his ass kicked. Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar defeated the Street Profits. Overall, I thought SmackDown was good, wasn't great. Street Profits losing is interesting. Dawkins got pinned. Bobby Lashley talked to them backstage and was basically like, give me your watches, give me your suits, you gonna get out of here. So I think what they're doing, though, they know they're not breaking up. I think what they're doing is Lashley is getting them, they're all turning heel. Because when they formed this group with no name, they haven't exactly talked about, like, they're not like, I'm baby faces, I'm heels. I think they need to be more defined. They're cool. People like that they're cool guys. But I think they need to kind of pick a more of a lane. Because then if they're heels, then they'll become good guys. Now, which I thought, tag match was fine, but I think it was more so to set this up. Asuka defeated Io Sky to retain the women's title. That ain't right. Io Sky wins. Asuka applied the Asuka lock on multiple occasions, but Sky kept fighting just as Sky seemed fading. Flair took out Bayley ringside. The comment allowed Sky to hit her moonsault and retain the title. But this says Asuka defeated Io Sky to retain the title. Uh-oh, WWE. You done messed up. Great match, great spots. Go out of your way to watch this. This is great. They have awesome chemistry. Austin Theory, Grayson Waller defeated the Brawling Brutes. Didn't care. Like, you know what? I've said this before when it comes to Austin Theory, because he's kind of in like no man's land. Don't get me wrong. They put him in prominent spots. Like, he gets the spot with The Rock. That's great. WWE loves him. I had no problems with Theory. He just needs character and direction. I think what you do with Theory is you give him a faction. I honestly do. Give him a faction on SmackDown. And what you do is you put Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, and Pretty Deadly. And you put them together as Pretty Theory. Or I don't know. But you give those guys, put those four guys together. Let Austin Theory kind of lead the faction. Grayson Waller is the goofball. And Pretty Deadly could run for the tag titles. And then that way you got something. Because this Grayson Waller Theory team up is fine, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, they don't explain why. They're just like, hey, I like you. You want to be friends? Theory's like, okay. And then that's it. It just, there's no story there. They just slap them together. Yeah, I could see Kadar. I could see Theory, Waller, and The Miz. I could totally see The Miz. You could have The Miz lead a faction. He's done it before. But Miz as the veteran would be really cool. Then you got Miz. See, Theory, though, has been around just long and, like, he's super young. But Theory has done so much that you could let Theory lead a faction. Like, if I had The Miz as the faction leader, that's cool. But it would be like Miz, and then you would say it's Theory, and then Grayson Waller and like Pretty Deadly. Don't get me wrong, that's kind of a cool faction, but I feel like Theory is the guy that you would want to focus on. Now you could if you don't have Miz there every single week, but I actually do kind of like that idea, because what you could end up doing is if you had Miz lead this Miz Taraj thing 2.0, you could have Miz, Theory, Waller, Pretty Deadly. And I say Pretty Deadly because they already had a relationship with Theory, and they kind of all fit together. And then you could ultimately have Theory be the one to break out, turn face, and turn against The Miz. And then there's Theory's face turn. So you could do something like that. Dick L, yes, if you're just joining us, it is confirmed. Matt Riddle has been released by WWE yesterday, just ahead of SmackDown. They didn't explain why he was released. Riddle said that he was released himself, and then it was confirmed. So Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, they defeat Brawling Brutes. Then you had the backstage segment, where you got, this was towards the tail end of SmackDown. This is where I felt SmackDown was kind of meh, because he had tag team matches. We had 2 tag matches, almost a third with John Cena. But you had the 2 tag team matches and the women's match. That was kind of it. AJ Styles gets beaten up by Solo and Jimmy. Now, this all feels like you're getting... Jimmy's kind of going rebel and renegade and making his own decisions. That's kind of what Heyman was implying. It's insinuating that somebody is giving them orders or telling them to do all of this, right? And it's not Roman Reigns. So it's who's giving the orders here, which leads people to speculate that it's The Rock. And that The Rock is really telling them, like, hey, man, don't listen to Roman. Like, I'm really in charge here. It could be that. So it's going to be interesting what they do with the bloodline. But Solo and Jimmy beat down AJ Styles. They made it all fun. They definitely set it up where Solo was doing the big jump off the top of all the gear in the boxes and everything onto AJ Styles. It was clearly like a crash mat because they blocked everything from the camera and then waited long enough, move it, and then AJ looks like he got hurt, which is fine. It's TV. So then they got AJ in an ambulance, so he's written off. And this is clearly where you would have had LA Knight step in and big pop. LA Knight makes a save on Cena and inserts himself in the bloodline story, and we didn't get that. We just got Solo and Jimmy beating down John Cena at the end of the show, which is great. Sometimes you need the heels to just win, and I think you need that right now. The bloodline story is kind of meh, but it's starting to get a little bit of an upswing again. We've had these lulls with the bloodline before, and it's been kind of, you know, before Cena, I kind of felt like, okay, we're really spinning our wheels here. What are we doing? And I feel like it's a lot of waiting to see the next big story beat, and I think we're starting to get the beginning of the next story beat of the bloodline. I think right now it's leading into who's in charge. I think there's going to be a lot of deception. You're going to get the LA Knight John Cena tag match where they win and the bloodline loses. Roman needs to show up at like Crown Jewel and Survivor Series to do something. Maybe an LA Knight match. Maybe a John Cena match. I'd still like to... I know we had that where Roman beat John Cena when the Tribal Chief head of the table first happened at SummerSlam. But I kind of like to see Roman now as the dominant champion get in there with Cena again and destroy him and just be like, beat him in 8 minutes. Because it'd be good to go around that again. But yeah, I think we do that. And then we get into Survivor Series towards the end. But I wonder if they are trying to build this towards The Rock being the one that is pulling the strings. The other thing, well, Jamie, you're totally right. If Rock isn't making the calls, it very well could be Rikishi. Because he did it for The Rock. Full circle. It would be perfect if it was Rikishi. It would be. We all think it's The Rock. And then in 2 months, Rikishi comes out and faces Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman's in shock. Rikishi just grabs the mic. And Roman's like, what are you doing? Why'd you do it? And Rikishi just says, it's like, you did this for your kids? And he goes, no, I did it for The Rock. And he smacks his bum and he walks away. That would be ultimate storytelling. What a payoff. What an ultimate payoff with Rikishi 20 years later. Oh my gosh. I would love to see it. Also, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they are leaning into the curse. You can see it here. They are actually leaning into the cursed WWE Women's Tag Titles. Everyone on the internet says these tag titles are cursed. The women on WWE TV have mentioned they're like, these tag titles are cursed because everyone gets injured or loses the titles or whatever, mostly injuries. So now they're leaning into it. You have Alba Fire and Isla Dawn saying that we have cursed them. You know what? I'm into it. You get Alba Fire, Isla Dawn back on TV because they are on SmackDown and they've never been there other than losing the titles to Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, which then they lost. The unified tag titles, and then they're gone. So we get them on TV, which is great. They're going to be in the tag title division. Great. Maybe we get some stories with them. So I'm excited to see them back on TV. And kudos for WWE going like, what are we going to do with the women's tag titles? Everyone says it's cursed. Why don't we just tell that story? Great. They need to push. They need to be on TV more. I'm excited for it. And that was basically SmackDown, everybody. In a nutshell, not a whole lot happened, but they're planting seeds for Fastlane. They're getting it built up more, and then they are going to be moving over. I'm just curious what the Bloodline is going to do, and I'm also curious about what they're going to do with Cody. Cody, to me, is losing momentum. And I wonder if they're hoping that they can just get to Royal Rumble just to kickstart this. I don't know what they're going to do with Cody. Right now, I'm not really interested in, I'm feeling like I'm seeing and hearing this more and more online, that not really interested in Cody at WrestleMania again. I feel like people are kind of getting, because we got The Rock, people are shifting gears, being like, yeah, I want to see The Rock and Roman. That's more fun. I've already seen Cody and Roman. Here's one thing that could happen. And yes, I do think MDB, I think Cody is low-key, he's been dragging his feet. They have no storylines for him. He did Brock Lesnar, and then there's been nothing. Now he's mixing it up more with Judgment Day, which makes no sense. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn still messing around with Judgment Day, which is kind of just getting a slog. The story arc of Jey Uso being in the mix is great, but Cody's got to get going with something. Like, you can come out every week in your suit and just talk about how you're going to finish the story and you're the nice guy. I need more from Cody. I think right now it'd be good for Cody to just actually wrestle, because him coming out and just doing run-ins and doing promos, it's like, so what do you want to talk about? And then he does his spiel, and then we're like, okay, are you in a storyline? Or are you just like, it's very flat. Very flat. So, and I think that a lot of people are looking at WrestleMania 40 with the potential of the Rock storyline, the Bloodline storyline, wrapping up, finishing, whatever it may look like, as kind of the story. Now, I did hear an interesting idea. And that was from Jim Cornette's podcast. And I like Cornette, and then I don't like Cornette. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, he's the best. He's got a lot of opinions. But they did talk about one potential story arc for WrestleMania. And I kind of went, ooh, that is very interesting. On Cornette's podcast, he talked about The Rock and Roman WrestleMania 40, main event, night 2. That's the match. And that's not the ooh part. What you end up having is Roman. I don't know if they said like have Roman win. You can't have, Roman versus Rock WrestleMania 40 night 2, not for the title. That's what it was. Because have Roman drop the belt to Cody at the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is in a giant stadium show in Tampa, I believe, right? Have Roman lose the Undisputed Championship at the Rumble. Cody finishes the story at the Royal Rumble. He goes into WrestleMania as the champion. But who is Cody's challenger for WrestleMania? CM Punk. And you have CM Punk win the Royal Rumble, or just confront Cody Rhodes night after Royal Rumble. Punk comes out, challenges Cody Rhodes, says, I'm coming for that, coming for WrestleMania, and your night 1 WrestleMania main event is CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, and your night 2 main event is Rock Roman for control of the bloodline. Who's the head of the table? That's one idea. Not everyone would like it. I thought interesting. The other one, Shadow Ninja says it in chat, and I agree. The other interesting one, forget CM Punk. Maybe WWE doesn't want any part of that. I still think that getting Punk on TV, TKO would like it. It's a giant, giant name that is hot right now. If you can get him at Survivor Series, if you can get him signed and get him to the Royal Rumble, it's a giant match. It's a giant story. We could also get him in the video game. I just want Cult of Personality in my video game. Vince McMahon hates white pants. Damn it. God damn it. But Leanne Sanchez, hi. The other options you guys have said in chat. Put Punk aside for a second. Not CM Punk. Do the same thing, though. Rock, Roman, head of the table match, night 2 WrestleMania main event. Control the bloodline, the final boss battle. Who is truly the head of the bloodline? You got to get the title off Roman before that. Title change at Royal Rumble. Cody beats Roman at the Royal Rumble. The bloodline disintegrates. Solo, Jimmy, they're gone. They're out. They go to Raw. They do whatever, but they're done with Roman because it feels like it's been in his wheel to that point. You have Cody win the match against Roman Reigns, but that's at the beginning of the night of the Royal Rumble. I mean, they would put that on, if it's a title change like that, they put it on last, I suppose, because the thing of the Royal Rumble match. So yeah, you put the title match on last because it's the biggest title match of the year. So you kick off the Royal Rumble, and the winner of the Royal Rumble could be a returning Randy Orton. And you have Randy come out at number 24, 25. He doesn't have to take any bumps. We talked about this the other day. Orton at the Rumble, biggest pop. He'll get a babyface pop. He'll be crazy over the whole way. Randy wins the Royal Rumble. He eliminates LA Knight. So then he gets heat. Or he doesn't eliminate LA Knight. But he eliminates everybody. RKO's done. Randy wins. You finish the night with Cody Rhodes winning the Undisputed Championship off Roman Reigns. The big celebration. Randy slides in, RKO's Cody Rhodes. And you get Cody versus Randy, night one, main event, WrestleMania. That match would be stellar because of the history. The story that Randy and Cody could tell would be incredible. No other elements involved. Who is the top guy? Randy trying to get his next... How many titles has Randy won? Is he a 13 or 14-time champion? He's a 14-time champion. Is John Cena a 15-time champion, or is he he's a 16-time? So Randy's a 14-time. John Cena is what? 16-time champion or 15? He's a 16-time champion. John Cena's 16. I'm just trying to think. How do you position the Randy Orton story? He's tied with Triple H, yeah. Cena's tied at 16 with Flair. You get Randy versus Cody, WrestleMania Night 1 main event. Undisputed Championship. Randy's like, we got to go back. And I'm still here, and I got to prove that I'm still the guy. And he wants that title. That one would be interesting because for that title match, you could totally... It would all be story. It would all be storytelling. The vignettes would be amazing. You're doing crossroads and RKOs, sneak attacks, all this stuff, and it's just the two of them. There's no bloodline. There's nothing else. So it could be the promos would be amazing. The sit-down interviews would be amazing. And you have 3 months to build it from Rumble to Mania. You could tell an incredible story with that. And you could build it so much. Yeah, mentor versus mentee. Cody just playing up that he's always looked up to Randy, and Randy was his guy, and they did Legacy, and they did all this stuff together. World titles only count if WWE says so. Yeah. So you get Randy. It's a great match, too, because it's believable that Randy could win. It's believable that Cody would retain. And either way, I think you give fans a really interesting story. Cody also, if he wins at the Royal Rumble and beats Roman, he dethrones Roman Reigns because of the chatter of The Rock and the deception of the bloodline, and Roman is on his own. Maybe The Rock does kind of interfere in the Royal Rumble match to set it up or to tease it. Maybe there's something, but Roman losing the title at this point wouldn't kill him because he would finally be able to just drop the title to go have the biggest match of his career against The Rock. He doesn't need the belt. And people will quickly move on. You would get the huge, oh my God, surprise of Cody winning and beating and finally finishing the story against Roman Reigns. And he does it in a giant stadium show at the Royal Rumble. Because they got to get that WrestleMania match with The Rock if they want to do that. And then, yeah, I think the Randy match is the most intriguing story. I think CM Punk versus Cody is possibly a larger money match, but we'll have to wait and see. More important thing is Adam. Roderick Strong is the best ever. ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up SmackDown recap and a little bit of talk about WrestleMania 2. So, leaving it with all of you guys right now, let's take a few minutes and let's just talk to all of you. Let me talk to you. We covered all the news and the updates and so on, and I think we've got a decent sized community here. Let's take a look. Yes, we do. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 203 people. Here's what I need. I need 203 people. Get your YouTube accounts, get your buttons, go flip your accounts open, and hit that subscribe button so we can get to 93,000 subs today. Do that for Daddy. Do that for me. I'd appreciate it. Or just hit the like button on the streams. That goes a long way too. So, answer your questions right now in the chat. If you guys are channel members, you'll get priority for your messages, and we'll take a look here. But I try to answer as many people as I humanly possible. JPS says we need a 23-time champion. Damn it. God damn it. Yeah, we did. Oh, yeah. VJC, too sweet to everyone here. Too sweet, VJC. Make me pal. Oh, God damn it. Kevin says, make me pal. I'll make you. God damn it. I hate white pants. Maximum male models. I want the male models. God damn it. They didn't turn. That was I had so much fun last night. We talked about, if you guys don't know, you're like, what is this fool talking about? Vince McMahon, there's a report from Mansoor and Massey from Maximum Male Models. They did a Twitch stream after they were released, and they gave some interesting info about Vince McMahon and the Maximum Male Models. And Vince, apparently, according to them, had wanted to do a Maximum Male Model gimmick for 8 months. And then he did it. They showed up wearing white pants. Vince didn't like their white pants, told them to change, and he taught them how to turn like a fashion model. And Vince was all over it, and he was so high on it. So then I just got silly last night. I lost it because I was like, this is the funniest visual ever. But yeah, guys, let me know what your questions are in the chat. Mike, the Heritage Cup is going to be in 2K24. Is it? I hope it is. Oh, TG club member, too sweet. TG, you get pay-per-view reviews along with all your emotes and everything else in the business and priority in the chats. Thank you so much for becoming a member. And MandoFet79 club member, dude, thank you very, very much for your support. Get those emotes. We'll do some live streaming together. We'll have some fun. Thank you guys very much for all the support. Rara says, what do you think about Jade Cargill coming to WWE? Rara, I think Jade is on her way. It sounds like she's going to be in NXT. I don't know what to do with Jade other than, like, do you put her in NXT for a month or 6 months and then have her run shot over everybody, beat Becky Lynch for the title, and then just move on? I don't know what you do with Jade. Do you just put her right up to main roster? Darren asks, is there anything new about Wrestling Code or Ultra Pro Wrestling? At the moment, no. I'll check out with Ultra Pro Wrestling. They're still just working away. I did a video a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, on like a full wrap-up preview of everything we know. And Wrestling Code, I got nothing. If the Heritage Cup is going to be in 2K24, they better get that match right. Yeah, they better. I want them to add the Shawn Michaels, like, what was that match he did? It was like a championship scramble cage thing. It was almost like a King of the Mountain. KIGF or KIGF, thank you very much for becoming a club member, brother. Look at that. All new club members. Too sweet. A13 Wrestling subscribed as well. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Jade Cargill versus Bianca. That's the match I want to see happen. Yeah, I do too. And Wolf Mode says CM Punk is not only a draw, he paints and sketches. Exactly. It's a beautiful man. Guys, thank you very much for becoming club members too. JPS says whoever take their news from Meltzer should be seen nor heard. Should not be seen nor heard. Yeah. The deadline match? What do we got here? Game Rant has a video. Has an article. How WWE 2K24's GM mode could take things to the next level. Well, let's hear about it. JC, good to see you, brother. I'm so mad Matt Riddle got released. I think he had a large fan base. People are gonna miss Matt Riddle. I think you could have done more with him, but I think also Riddle gonna clean up his act if that's the case. Hopefully he goes on on a tear in the Indies. Iron Survivor Challenge, Reggie. Thank you very much. All right, let's see what Game Rant has to say regarding 2K24's match. And by the way, guys, yeah, so the Dudley Boys did do an interview. Devon Dudley did confirm, without saying it directly, but they're going to be in 2K24 because they signed a Legends deal. And Devon said the Legends deal allows us for merchandise, video games, action figures. So Dudley Boys 2K24 confirmed. Jamie Wright, and I see it as DLC. I'm going to get to this article in a second. Jamie, thank you very much for your super chat. LA being off a week or two isn't the worst. His pop will be massive when he returns. Absence makes us grow fonder. Rest up, Knight. Yeah. Yeah, he'll be back, and it'll be fine. So, Game Rant says, regarding WWE My GM mode, why it could be even bigger and badder than ever. Let's see what they have to say here. There we go. WDK23's GM mode is a ton of fun. Players compete against the friends CPUs. Yes, we know. The sheer fun factor may be enough to drive 2K23 fans through multiple seasons, but if 24 is going to innovate, it may want to look at some of the seasons that they can do. As an example, The Sims 4, features various scenarios players can play through, benefiting from zany nature. What are you talking about? Well, there are plenty more than that. It ensures that they have something new to do with these playthroughs, with many of them having multiple story endings translated to 2K24. Players could tackle a new scenario with perhaps each season or overall run of 2K24's GM mode. Oh, I see what they're saying. So you're trying to say they want to give scenarios, situations in GM mode. They're just trying to use The Sims as an example. Yeah, I was like, what? But they're trying to say implement challenges or scenarios in GM mode. Try to do certain things. I don't disagree with that. If the thinking is like in GM mode, add scenarios / challenges, specific things to do. We do have that. Don't get me wrong. There are some but it's very bare bones. It's like rack up a budget of this and main event this, or do just multiple seasons of the game. I like the idea of giving specific challenges and things you need to do. Draft 5 high-profile superstars, maintain someone's morality above 80%, minimize, only have 2 or 4 injuries throughout a season, like whatever it is. There could be some cool stuff you could do if you created more scenarios. The Management Foundation 24's GM mode is sound enough to support this. Will be players to tell stories. The thing is, though, is that they're trying to give scenarios and stories. I'm like, you're kind of leaning into universe mode. Brand warfare scenario. They should do more brand warfare. You versus the other brand. Like, it is supposed to be GM mode. Drawing on the past, this scenario could see every hosted premium live event of a season have at least one match where the brand puts its in its own star. Each brand could put X members on their roster into the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and so forth, but we need those match types in the mode too first. The goal is to win the unified belt by the end and be in the top 2 brands. Okay, that's not bad. Dominant faction scenario. Players create factions. Stop with the factions. Either their own or preset, like LWO Judgment Day or Bloodline. The end goal will be as simple as a faction dominating the Slammy Award and so forth. Yeah. Universal Championship scenario. In honor of Roman Reigns and other champions, players may have to do everything they can to ensure their champion stays on top longer. That's kind of cool. It's just trying to hit these goals and achievements. The end goal will be to begin and end the season in the same dominant fashion, but forcing players to create their own title defenses. Royal Family scenario. Some scenarios could give bonuses for the use of certain Royal Family members in WWE. I kind of feel like you just need to combine universe mode and GM mode. Supernatural scenarios. Okay. Finishing the story scenario. Pulling from Cody Rhodes. Character returning at the Rumble. Must especially manage. Like, the thing is that GM mode needs more depth. Like, what they're talking about, I don't disagree that having these scenarios or challenges to do is a cool idea. But GM mode just needs the depth. Before we get into, like, here are all these fantasy scenario things that GM mode could do to make it better, I don't think it's a bad idea by any means, but I think it needs the basics first. You know what we need in universe mode? In GM mode? You need Royal Rumble. You need all the matches, all the match types, the full pay-per-view for the year, Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Survivor Series War Games, regular pay-per-view schedule. You need a calendar, like you do with universe mode. You need drafts. You need with trades on top of it. Managing the budget tighter. All the title belts. Allow for custom arena to select as my main show. I don't need to do customize every show. That would probably break the system, number 1. Number 2, that's just universe mode. But you already allow us to pick a custom general manager. allow me to say, pick a custom show that you're going to run on either Mondays or Fridays. So I can just pick my custom show with my custom roster if I want to do that. Or I pick Raw, SmackDown, WCW, NXT, whatever my brand is. Run the full calendar for the year. Do drafts, like I said, still. Do the trades. Run the contracts deeper. Change the budget. Change the system so that the rating system, so it's not going back, the class system, so it's not going off the classes to create better matches and better star ratings. Just go based off of popularity and performance. And then, yeah, cuts all the title belts. Let me pick which belts I'm going to have on my roster, on my card. We had this years ago in SmackDown versus Raw. I used to be able to just pick which belts that would be on my season. Oh, and online. Allow us to go online and invite a player and run a online general manager experience. Those are the things that we need for GM mode, for me to be like, this has the hooks in me. Also, if 2K was really, they will never do this, but if you really want to keep my faction as a thing, bleh, do the achievements in GM mode and have achievements in universe mode. And I don't mean the achievement list that you'd get through the game console, but I mean do certain things in the mode specific to GM mode and unlock my faction rewards. More cards. Build up those cards for that roster you have. You could do things like that if they really want to double down on the my faction crap. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. It will be interesting. I do like it. My faction is whack. People don't like it. People don't want it. They never wanted it. Do you think it would be cool to be able to run in on your partner during the match? Maybe walk out with them and super kick over jealousy? Yeah, absolutely. But we need like those things in universe mode where it's like more interference, more options within universe mode, more of the action list items. More news coming out of Vince McMahon, guys, just to kind of focus on this for a second here. Vince McMahon considered WWE board investigation into hush money payments an act of disloyalty. This did come up a little bit yesterday. McMahon's future has been plunged into fresh doubt as the report suggests Vince could be forced to stand down from his position on the TKO board over federal government investigations into the hush money payments. I do see that happening, and I see Vince going bye-bye. Could happen. Be great. I want tournaments. FAGJ 92. Yes, I want Heritage Cup, as people mentioned. I want King of the Ring in universe mode. I want tournaments in universe mode, just in general. I want more of that. It'll go a long way. It'll make things so much better. Kadar, see ya, pal. God damn it. God damn it, pal. I do like the LWO and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes and, of course, AJ Styles. Yeah, man. They just need to bring back Create a Story. Kind of. I don't think we're going to get that. I think we get the action item list expanded, and that turns into your story mode. Bring the option to let us pick up the chambers and arenas for limited chamber. Yeah. Pick the chamber. Yeah. Nevermind Gaming. Yes. My Rise arenas and create. Yeah. Marty, we need the My Rise arenas. We need the My GM arenas available in Create an Arena. Because then we got to rely on Marty M to do all the legwork. And that's not fair to Marty. Marty's doing everything. And Create a Finisher would be tops. We'll see. But it's kind of cool that we're going to see Dudley Boys back in the game. And that has not been confirmed officially by WWE or 2K, but it's probably going to happen based off that. But let's take a look here. I just want to grab that and tweet that out, guys. Eras of My Rise universe mode. Yeah, Eras would be cool. Limitless arenas. I wish they would just open up the arenas. People are doing such great work with arenas and custom arenas, custom shows. We need way more freedom. Let's see here. Just Wrestle Talk. Dudley Boys. Yeah, there it is. I'm just looking at the Dudley Boys comments. The Dudley Boys. There we go. Did Devon Dudley just confirm WWE 2K24 appearance for the Dudley boys? Let's see here. I want to put the googly eyes. Was it from Wrestle Talk that made the quote? PW Insider. And let's get the Dudley boys. Dudley boys. There we go. Did Devon Dudley just confirm WWE 2K24 appearance for the Dudley boys? Support! Best talk! Sorry, guys. I care less about the NBA. Oh, okay, we're talking about different stuff here. Sad to say we won't see the Hardy. I know, and Edge and Christian. I know, that'd be so sad. I do miss Creative Finisher. I miss Creative Finisher too, man. That was so good. I miss some of the old WWE 2K games as well. So, all right, guys. We're going to wrap things up for the day. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all the new club members as well. Your super chats, your likes, your comments, your subscribes, all that good stuff. Go ahead and support the channel if you guys can on your way out. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Head over to the merch shop. You can see it on the main channel if you want to support that way. It's the best way you can do it too. I will see you guys probably tomorrow. Gotta go hang out with the family now. Have a great, great day. Enjoy the weekend. And we'll be back with more news and more 2K coverage as soon as possible. Too sweet. Bye.